And hello, welcome to the Bootleg Cookie live stream. Basically, what happens, I'm Shiro, I'm a comic artist, and I usually talk a little bit about what I did artistically in the past week, or at least the day before, or in this case, this morning, the continuation of the day before. And then I go on to do my weekly webcomic called Bootleg Cookie. It's a little hot today, but I didn't bother to get the fan in because I have t-shirts. Oh, geez, already? Thank you, Peter, for joining the party. It's appreciated. Didn't even see you. I don't even see viewers right now. But thank you very much. Kind of feels like you were just waiting for me to come on, like, okay, now, click. But yeah. Trying to finish my lunch Pepsi. This stream is not sponsored. I just like Pepsi a lot. But if they would sponsor me, I wouldn't say no. Not with the amount I drink. So, what did I do artistically? I did some more experimenting. My mother, bless her heart, and despite me constantly telling her not to do that, bought me some art supplies off of Temu. This time around, she bought me literally some postcards to paint on the back of and sell. You know, I genuinely cannot see the difference between Chinese kanji and Japanese kanji. I cannot. This feels Japanese just because of that kanji over here that will... Oh wow, it focused. Like, that feels Japanese to me. I could be completely wrong. Either way. So I decided last night and this morning I was going to at least try it out. It was a struggle, to say the least. Like, the results are not too bad, but they're not too good either. Anyway, I'll show you guys. Hi, Coco! So I made a test Slime King only because I wanted to practice gilding more. So we are not going to look at how shitty the gilding is because that is my fault. We're analyzing the paper, not my inability to gold leaf properly. But that will come with practice. I'm trying to catch the light here because I used my Kuretake Gensai Tambi metallic set, which you guys helped support thanks to this little throne link down here last time. Right now we're throne linking a comic book. And yeah, not fantastic. It's very, very textured, which is something you actually wouldn't mind too much with watercolor paper, but it feels like the texture is printed on. You know what I mean? Like, there's way more texture on one side than on the other. I'm putting together what I'm gonna wear for the art show opening, she said, hopefully planning to show me pictures after. But yeah, it's hard to tell because, like, I did my very best. I got more practice with watercolor than I do with gilding. And the application was rough. Like, I had to put a lot of water just to get some semblance of evenness. And then trying to lift the water where the sun shines, basically here and on the cheeks, to get a little bit of light and some backlight over here. Oh my god, it's not a fan of water, to say the least. Like, you have to put on a lot, and it's really hard to explain For those of you who don't know, Coco is a featured artist in a real gallery. Yes, she is, and I am so proud of her. And one of her pieces is going to be a chihuahua. A very handsome chihuahua. So, yeah. So, what this little test taught me is that I'm better at watercolor than I thought. And I still need a lot of practice for gilding, but that's okay because the gold leaves that I bought were the cheap shit on purpose. Well, if not Coco, just put some glitter on it. Biodegradable glitter. We got enough microplastics in our bodies as it is. So what I did is, right after I finished this test, if anything, the line art is really nice, in my opinion, because I used one of my Pentel's dual metallics. These are so nice. They are so freaking full of glitter. And it actually applies on the paper instead of having glitter in the ink, but it not going past the ballpoint. And you get like more juice than glitter. These are so good. These are so good. And they're cheap. And they're good. While it's open, anybody want to see the inside of the metallic Gensai Tombies? Even if you don't wanna, I'm gonna show you anyway. Should be dry enough that I can tilt it. But not too much because they're loose in there and I don't want to get them out of order and all in my lap and stain my Batman nightgown. So I'm pretty sure it's got like even powdery or mica powder in there with how it applies. It's definitely not glitter. It has to be mica powder. Plus it shimmers really nice when I rinse my brush, so it's definitely like well powdered and mixed mica powder. And I am loaded with mica powder. I should learn how to make my own watercolor, if only to pass some of it. Because I bought myself a kit. And then Mom bought me a kit like a year after, practically. So now I am drowning in mica powder. Snap, snap, snap. So I went ahead and went on Amazon and got myself some quote-unquote real gold leaf glue. Got myself a kit. It was on special. Came up to $25 Canadian. It's the glue, the varnish, 2 brushes, and a set of even more gold leaf. Now, I don't know if it's the real shit or more fake shit, but there's a reason I bought the fake shit. So I could experiment more. Now, if anybody was looking for a little art history lesson, I am going to give you one right now. It's completely unrelated. It's just that I fell on it on Facebook, and I want to share about it because it's part of my childhood. The Laurentien pencils. Now, I'm just going to read off the photos. But basically, I clearly remember using these pencils like past grade 1 when I couldn't bring my Prismacolor pencils at school anymore. I had this big box. I had like 2 rows. I'm trying to remember if it was 24 or 60, or either way, I had a big box of pencils that I stopped bringing to school because they, you know, after a while they required the specific pencil, the specific paper, bada bada bada. And in my case, of course, because I live in Quebec, it was a pack of Laurentien wooden pencils. Pencil crayon story begins in 1950s. At least that's what it says. And one of the thumbnails of the Laurentien has an ad on it. Brilliant color, 24 couleurs brillantes. You could win. Vous pourriez gagner One of l'un des 6 Commodore 64 computer système d'ordinateur domestique. Wow, Shiro, you're old! And I actually have 2 Commodore 64 and 1 Commodore 128 in my closet. The story of Laurentien pencil crayons begins sometime in the late 1940s to early 1950s under Venus Pencil. Venus Pencil started in 1931 as a Canadian affiliate of the American Pencil Lead Company. The brand was originally called Laurentien with an A rather than Laurentien with an E. Vinyl pouch, the frickin' vinyl pouch! Like, here I'm seeing like the small with the little click on top, but I had the double pack. The vinyl pouch that would have like a little slide in it so you can slide the top in and tuck it in and then fold it together. Vinyl pouch introduced in 1967. You know, images you can smell. In 1967, Venus Pencil Company became Venus Esterbrook Canada. The same year as the name change, the company changed from keeping the pencil crayons in a box to the famous vinyl pouches with clasp. Many Canadians still remember the smell of those pouches. Ooh, do we ever. Name changed to Laurentien in 1972, Laurentien with an E. In the early 1970s, Venus was acquired by Faber-Castell, which changed the corporate branding on the pencils. In 1972, under the new company, the name changed to Laurentien. This decision was made to increase sales of the pencil crayons in Quebec, because Laurentien with an A sounds English, Laurentien with an E sounds French, and we got French up our asses. And a lot of us pretend like we like it that way. Space for name added in 1950s, because that's one of the things that was actually unique to the Laurentien pencils, is that it had a space for the name. So you can write your name on it, as it says right here. One famous aspect of the pencil crayons was the ability to write your name in special space on the pencil crayons. Répétition, répétition, répétition. This feature was added to Hey, vole pas mes crayons! Deter theft from fellow classmates. The space for a name on each pencil crayon since nearly the very beginning of the brand. That is not a sentence. Did you ask ChatGPT to help you on that one? Either way, yeah, there's like a cylinder shape on each crayon. Completely white, so you could write your name on it. And I remember writing my name on it with a ballpoint pen, like. And here's the sad part. Laurentien ceased production in 2012. In 1994, Sanford LP bought Laurentien. In 2001, the company ended the use of the vinyl pouch. It also ended the production of the pencil crayons in Canada, moving production to the United States. In 2012, the company ceased production of its pencil crayons. And somebody wrote, this is when you could tell the quality was never the same. Yeah. Because another thing that they were proud of is that they had a thick, hi Doje, a thick core. And like it was on all... Gonna open the image in a new tab. There we go. I'm gonna switch to my desk real quick so you guys can at least see the crayon. There we go. The old Laurentien with an A. If you guys can see down here, ordinary lead, Laurentien lead, Mine Laurentien. They had a really thick core, so you had more color and more space to color. And if we compare with the latest 2012, give me a second. You see that? Now they look like the before. The core is not as thick as it used to be. And here you can see the space to write the name. And that was your little Canadian art history tidbit for the day. Now, wasn't that fun? I'm glad you guys don't have audio. I'm not hungry at lunchtime, but boy, am I thirsty. Look, being a creative genius is thirsty work. You know what else is thirsty work? Being swarmed by art scammers. Like, I have regular scammers on Twitter, yay, but like on Facebook, just this week, I had at least 2 webcam ladies, wink wink nudge nudge, on Twitter. I had 2 widowers on Facebook, and I had 1 new, "Hi, I love your art, and I would like to make a mural out of it." If you're still on Divine Art and you see that "I love your art, you inspired me, can I use it to paint a mural?" you will be credited and paid. No! No! You will be scammed! I'm happy to report I never fell for it, because honestly, I am too poor to be desperate. Because usually when you get paid from a scam, they will send you more money than they say they would, and then they ask you, because, "Oh, whoops, I made a mistake," and then they ask you to reimburse the too much. And then you do, and then they take your money and the check bounces. So fuck you, skiddly-doo. That was the second educative portion of the show. I forgot to take a bunch of things on my to-do list, and if I don't do them, I'm going to hate myself and I'm going to lose XP because I'm on Habitica. If anybody looking for a good way to keep on top of your shit when you got ADHD and you're not medicated, I suggest Habitica because it's fun. I like it. I have not died yet. Yeah, you can die. It's an RPG, RPG-fied to-do list. I'm gonna drop that in the chat. So basically, you got habits, dailies, and to-dos. Not sponsored, not affiliated. It's just if it can help you guys like it helps me. I'm just trying to help. That's literally my TikTok tagline. I'm gonna get started real nice and slow and relaxing in ASMR. I gotta take a bigger breath when I start doing that voice. So if they want to sponsor you, they can. Yes! It is, like, very encouraged. Like, I've been using it since it was called Habit RPG. I put money in the frickin' Kickstarter when they started it. And you know, with the budget I have, that I believe in something if I put money in it. And honestly, it's helped me a lot. Like, I am drowning in costumes. I'm a rogue, of course. And if I wanted to change classes, I could, but I like being a rogue. I am drowning in costumes. I am drowning in pets. I am drowning in mounts. Because I've been there since day one, practically. I got a couple unicorns, of course. Those are quest-based. And sometimes I still drop in a couple dollars just to get some crystals so I can get some more unicorns. But I feel they deserve it. Because honestly, the app has been saving my ass. Combination of that and Trello, but Trello I don't pay money for it. Because Trello is more professional, so that's less fun. But yeah, I use Habitica. Like, I do put my weekly bootleg cookie script in Habitica in my to-dos. But I use it mostly for my day-to-day chores and to keep on top of my bills. And I need to do that because, as I said, I am unmedicated. Because I am not officially diagnosed. Why don't you go and get diagnosed? I have ADHD. Of course I don't think about it on my day-to-day. Why don't you put it in the list? Because I work all day and then I don't think about it. Because once again, I am an idiot. Just gonna make myself a smidgen taller. That's what I like about digital can do corrections on the fly. And now I'm not gonna draw Lily's harness. Only because at that point she was so hairy you couldn't see the harness. Oh, by the way, this is Tiff. This is Tondu. Tondu is the one that's been stalking around the house with the flashlight. Anybody been playing any video games this week? I was absolutely exhausted. So I started and ended a new playthrough of the Link's Awakening remake for the Switch. It gets easier with every playthrough, but then again, Link's Awakening is a pretty easy game. They said, remembering damn well, that their first save file on their Game Boy version had 275 deaths. It's also... that playthrough is also the one where I was absolutely abusing the screen skip glitch, and I didn't beat a single boss. Because I would always skip their room to the instrument. And I remember that if you skip enough rooms, you end up in a room that looks like a room in Eagle Tower. Like when you fall down and there's a corridor on top of a wall to get a treasure. And in that glitch treasure, it's always the second strength bracelet. And then, of course, you would end up eventually, you would end up in an empty room with no doors, just walls. Like, I would glitch on purpose to the point where the enemies look like Marin and Grandma Yahoo. How the hell do I get fingerprints on glasses I never touch? Do my eyebrows have fingerprints? Is that what's going on? I also finished my first playthrough of Athenian Rhapsody, which is basically a shorter, much more colorful Undertale. And I don't know how else to explain the sense of humor, but it's like a mix of Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass, Space Funeral. There is, of course, a little bit of Undertale in there, but it's mostly Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass and Space Funeral. In fact, the art style too reminds me of Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass. I wish that Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass would catch on eventually enough so that the creator could have enough money to make a Switch port. Yeah, I have it on Steam, but you guys know I do not like gaming on my computer. I like working on my computer. I bought this computer to draw on. Get a Steam Deck. What part? Like, you guys know whatever little money I have, I usually use on this shit. I actually had to call dispatch and tell them that if another domestic call came for Unit 401, that it was the building next door, not me. Oh dear. I mean, you kind of... It's pretty much what I was implying to the cops. Like, that was my old apartment. Oh dear. I seriously thought I was being held against my will and came twice about it. Well, I don't think at this point anybody can hold you against your will. I think at the point you are now, you're ready to just sacrifice furniture to defend yourself. Like, fuck this shit, I have it up to here. You will get sofa'd. What do you mean? Ah! I live alone for... I mean, yeah. I mean, so did I, and they still made a search! Did Lily try to make nice with the cops, or did she just bark at them? As soon as because Lily's problem is not necessarily strangers, it's doors. People have no business being on the other side of the door when they could be inside giving her attention. That's her issue. Because of course she stopped barking once they got in. She even seduced Tiff. Tiff was talking to me and he bent down and he went ahead and pet Lily, and Lily was like, yes! And she climbed on top of him to get more pets. I really gotta stop spitting on my screen. I cannot control this thing anymore. And of course I had to put her on a little leash because I don't know if you know, but usually cops don't appreciate it when a dog runs up to them and climbs on them. Thankfully, she was very cute. She was at maximum teddy bear. Lily has so much love in that little mop body. Like I keep saying, too much emotion, not enough dog. On today's episode of stuff that I thought but I didn't say out loud. And still better than being a vicious hell beast like some purse dogs. Duncan is cut from the same cloth as Lily. Doesn't have a mean bone in his body aside from growling at bigger dogs. That's a nice thing though. Last time I had Lily groomed, like we were snuck up on by this guy and his gigantic chocolate poodle. Not a word from Lily, not a nothing, not a sound. She went up to the poodle and gave her some sniffies, because literally that's all Lily wants to do. Sniffies. Lily is worse than a squirrel. She wants to do sniffies. We bring the groceries in. She's going to want to check for poison, so she has her face inside the grocery bag. She will not taste anything. She will not grab and steal anything. But she will stick her entire head in the bag, sniff around, and then move on to the next bag. Because that's what Lily is all about. Sniffing. Lily is curious. She is an investigator. I'm not gonna put the entire questionnaire I was put under. But I will say that they did ask me where my parents were. Not necessarily because I look like I look. 18-pound security guard. Don't move! But because, like, they do look up info, and they had time to look up info on the house. With the time it took me to calm the fuck down, call 911, be told it's the cops, go upstairs, open the door. They had the time to do it. They had time to kill, and I'm happy it's just the time they killed. So of course they were wondering why the file said there's 3 people here and there's only me and a dog. And, like, what if I'm lying? You know, no, it's only me, and there's my mom at the bottom of the stairs. I'm not dead yet. I need an inheritance. Seriously, if I'm ever in need of an inheritance, I'm not that in a hurry that I would push mom. Or dad. I like them too much. The longer I have to wait for my inheritance from them, the better. That's what I'm thinking. I'd rather keep them than get money, you know? I'm just gonna give him a donut beard because I can't be arsed. As long as I don't make that pink, I'm fine. Can you imagine if they show up again? Yeah, we saw your comic! Turn around! There we go. Sometimes my tabmate likes to have a little tantrum. I'm itchy. My nose. See what I just did? Shoulder. You want to rotate your shoulder to get some nice curves. I'm assuming he had another police on the back. I don't know. Better believe me when I say, when that happened, I did not think, oh, this is going to make a great bootleg cookie. At least not until they left. Once they left, oh my god, marketing! There's been a lot of interesting reactions to the current storyline. So far though, I had nobody basically tell me that my stories are bullshit. And that is both surprising and nice. can appreciate that. I was talking about Athenian Rhapsody earlier. Would I recommend Athenian Rhapsody? How good are your reflexes? Because I finished my first run and I had decided it was going to be neutral. Like, you're expected to make friends with at least one of each monster in each biome. And that's literally what I do. I make friends with exactly one of each monster in each biome, and then I destroy the rest. I knew damn well that was going to net me a neutral route. But if I want to do a pacifist route, I am going to need better reflexes. Now, if all the battles had DDR techniques in them, because at least 2 of them do, I would be laughing because I am really, really good at that. But sadly, no. It's a lot of dodging, just like in Undertale. See, that's how fluffy she is. You cannot see the harness. I have a couple pictures of her on Facebook where she was like full at maximum tutu. You cannot see her harness, and she has a big plaque in front. But the straps around her, nothing. And of course I've had people ask me, well, didn't they announce themselves? They claim they did. But like I keep saying, I never heard a single "this is the police," and I never saw the bisexual lighting. I'm pretty sure they turned on the bisexual lighting when I opened the door, and Tondu happened to be next to the car, and he just flipped on the lights. Because once I showed up, that's when I saw the bisexual lighting. And I am convinced it wasn't there, because when I opened the door, when I looked through the glass door, all I saw was darkness, the word police, and a flashlight. I did not see any blue and red flashing behind the word and the flashlight. So I can't confirm that they actually announced themselves. Protocol says they must have. But, reminder! Yeah. When she came to look at me from the top of the stairs, I was at the bottom. I kept telling her, ch. And I still couldn't hear any police, so if he did say it, he said it pretty low, because I can hear knocking from downstairs. Normally. Because once again, this loud little motherfucker right here. I also have a playthrough of Kudzu I need to get back to. It's just... There's control issues with Kudzu. And I don't know if those control issues were on purpose to really push the... This was made for Game Boy narrative. Or if it's just... program issues, but it's been making it a little hard to play. Like, you know when you can tell when something is your fault and something is not your fault? Whole bunch of the mistakes are not my fault. And you guys know I have no problem blaming myself when I know the issue is me. Like, I know if I try to do a pacifist run on Athenian Rhapsody, it's probably going to suck, but that is me. Those are my skill issues. My reflexes are just not that good. And if you're wondering if I'm going to be drawing this page in the same disco lights, no, they were inside the house at that point. I know, would have been fun. Gonna have a little sippy sippy. Oh, that's new. I'll never hear it, but that's new. Tempest by Protosonics. Not sponsored, but if anybody is curious, I am paying a lot of money for this music. Stop sending me copyright claims. I am paying you for this music. Like and subscribe. If you would like more of this quality content, we need your support. Here's Grover from Sesame Street to say the exact same thing in a different voice. If you would like... Grover, not one of mine. Love the character, voice is a little harsh on me. I like to think Elmo likes to think he does a pretty decent Elmo. Elmo is more in Elmo's range. Can you guys imagine if I made an entire live stream in Elmo's voice? That wouldn't get old at all. Can you imagine getting canceled for too much Elmo? think it was Filtrated Lion that said that I had a very soothing voice. Can you imagine 3 hours of this? Elmo's not my favorite. Grover's my favorite. After that is Count Found Count. I'm not even going to try Count Found Count's name. Not in my register. And I know that's rich coming from somebody that can talk about this low. I have a pretty wide range, but there's some limits to what I can do. Like when I voiced all the different voices back when I did the Bootleg Cookie animated show. I use software to change the pitch of my voice. Why don't you do the animated show anymore? Because I used to do it in Go Animate, and Go Animate doesn't exist anymore. And I simply do not have time to put actual animation. The thing with Go Animate was basically puppeteering. Like point and click and slide and that's it. Actual animation requires a lot of time and effort. But Shiro, you don't mind putting a lot of time and effort in other artistic endeavors, but animation takes a lot of time and effort. You see all that effort I don't put in lettering? Imagine if I put the equivalent in actual effort in animating. Move aside, Disney! But yeah, the animated episodes are still up on the YouTube channel. A lot of them, of course, were repurposed into the comic. I think the only one I didn't translate into a comic yet was the horror fan that didn't know what gore meant. Like, on the one hand, I forgive that person because the entire conversation happened in French and gore is an English word. And, well, where I live. But on the other hand, you don't get to outright brag that you've seen all the horror movies. All of them. I've seen that. Freddy's boring. Jason's boring. This is boring. That is boring. The Exorcist is boring. But I've seen all of them! And then her boyfriend shows up with Hostel. Is this good? And I said, well, if you want a story, not really. But if you like gore, it's excellent. What's gore? What's gonna happen to your face in the next 5 minutes if you don't buy that fucking movie and leave? To be my own boss. Thankfully, nowadays, I am. Had a bunch of people ask me for commissions. I have opened some commissions, and suddenly, like, I am, like, zero surprised. Then again, I am very, very demanding on my commissions. Like, literally, the instructions to the commissioner says, You have to give me exactly what you want because we're not doing 3 million changes. The instructions basically resumes themselves to be decisive. You want something, you tell me what you want. Because if there's something I hate, is when somebody asks me for a commission. First of all, they start with hi instead of hi reason why I'm talking to you. No, just hi. And I always answer, usually, I always answer with, can I help you? And then if they want a commission, I would like to commission you. Okay, what would you like? A drawing. I don't have all day. And then I have to freaking interrogate them like I'm this close to Chinese torture. Like, plick, 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 tell me what you want. So now the commission slot open currently on my coffee shop has instructions. Tell me exactly what you want. This commission slot includes this. Pick some options and give me the exact description of the character. And if you feel like this is too intimidating, you were planning to waste both our times. When in fact I am trying to save yours. I mean, you could be nicer about it. No. Because when I'm nice, people on the internet take advantage of that. Like, literally, I had a guy back in January try to ask me for a commission. And he would change his mind at every 2-step. Like, I want a commission, but he had no, like, 0, -5 idea what he wanted. And I'm trying to guide him. And like, like, just tell me what you would want. First of all, do you want it traditional or digital? And after faffing around, traditional. Okay, what size would you like it? Okay, digital then. Fuck you. He contacted me again earlier this month. Sorry, I got busy. Funny, I hadn't replied to you. And then he disappeared again, so... And if he happens to recognize himself while watching the show, I am encouraging you to be more assertive in what you want. That's it. Have a good idea of what you want before contacting somebody. I will be opening eventually more options for commissions because right now all I have are portraits, but I will be adding busts and full bodies eventually. Right now I only have portraits open because you can also use them as PFPs. And yes, the options for Dragon Ball, Dr. Slump and Sailor Moon style are extra money because that requires extra effort from me. But it's not extra whether you want to pick between my own anime style or my own North American style. what would really entertain me is because I just said a whole string of fuck yous. After a while, YouTube will consider my live streams made for kids because I draw little cartoons in them. That's something I find, like, not just stupid, but potentially dangerous. And probably how we've ended up with the Elsa Gates situation is that YouTube asks you to label your stuff whether for kids or not for kids. You know, for the safety of children. And you're like, sure, not for kids. And then at random, YouTube will drop in your DMs and tell you, yeah, we labeled this for kids because it's obviously for kids. No, it's not for kids. Yeah, but it's for kids though. No, but it's not. Yeah, well, we labeled it for kids. Because the thing is, stuff for kids, the comments are locked out. But in my case, my stuff is labeled not for kids, not because I want comments, but because I fucking curse in the live streams. Like, help me help you there. Yeah, but if you curse too much, you're gonna be demonetized. I'm not monetized to begin with. In order to be monetized, you need a certain amount of viewers. I am not there yet. If the graphite YouTube plaque was still a thing, I wouldn't even get that. That's how little subscribers I have. Like and subscribe! Speaking of things that they kind of push on ya, Twitch recently released the knocking tool. Basically, collaborators are now able, technically, to knock on your stream for spontaneous collaborations during live stream. And it's turned off by it's turned off. Sorry. Wishful thinking. It's turned on by default, and you can't turn it on. You can't turn it off. Like, you can suspend it for the next stream. But one way to technically turn it off is to select that only people in your favorites list can knock, and then leave your favorite lists empty and untick all the other options. Like, it's nice to dream, but do you really think everybody on Twitch has good intentions? Have you seen what they do with raids? Hate raiding is a thing. And sometimes just because you're there. Has nothing to do with you personally, just some people are haters just to be haters. I've been lucky on that front. I haven't had a hater in years. And again, I don't take them seriously, so... Like, I say I didn't have a hater, like, I'd have to take them seriously, because last person that was a hater was actually a couple months ago when I posted the Dr. Slump style Ninja Turtle picture with like the gigantic Raphael and the teeny tiny Michelangelo and Splinter, and that person got offended. You know what? Let me see if I can go and get the comment, because that was actually pretty cute. Ah, there we go. Ah, there we go. April. Oh my god, I drew that in April? Those character designs are horrendous. Oh. And I thought the Rise of the TMNT designs were bad. They are so out of proportion. And I replied, thank you, that's exactly what I was going for. And somebody else in May replied, they're in a Dr. Slump style, which means very goofy proportions. But I love that those character designs are horrendous. Oh no, my feelings! I made chubby characters in a chubby style. What was I thinking? Boo-hoo-hoo. Beauty is in the eye of the beer holder, after all. Like, I think about that comment a lot, but not in the way that it stops me from sleeping at night. Quite the opposite. How do you sleep knowing somebody thinks your art is horrendous with the fan on? Why? But I'm really curious to know what he was hoping to accomplish by saying that. Bitch, I've been at this for decades. You really think... Oh, I'm gonna remember your comment alright, but, not in the way you're hoping, buddy. And honestly, that's the attitude a lot, if not all, artists should have, considering that kind of hate. You should be like, oh no, somebody on the internet doesn't like my art. Whatever shall I do? Like, it's one thing to be a fan of somebody and think about them a lot. Like, oh my god, I wonder what they're going to draw today, and if they're going to post, and is there an update to the comic? You know, that's a fan. A hater fan? That's pretty sad. When you're focused negatively on somebody that you've never met, just because you don't like the way they draw eyeballs. or anything. Like, it's not even a specific example. Nobody gave me shit about my eyeballs, but can you imagine? Well, I will admit, I am not a fan of a certain artist because of the way he draws his heads. But, like, I'm not stalking his social media to tell him that he sucks. Because he does not suck. It's just, I personally do not like the way he draws his heads. And I will not name the person. But I don't like the way he draws his heads. But I'm not going to stalk him to remind him daily. He doesn't give a shit. Heck, he's a professional cartoonist. Why would he care? The man is making money. And this is why I put my black layer blue. I almost hated myself right there. But you know what's sad though? There's probably some people that do have a problem with him. That will remind him. So he doesn't need one more person. No, it's not Rob Liefeld. 99 problems, but his heads aren't one. Well, his faces maybe, but not his heads. But, just like the other artists that I will not name, he's making money. Good for him. Good. Like I said earlier, beauty is in the eye of the beer holder. Like, it would be pretty hypocritical of me to try and stalk professional artists and tell them, that one thing you draw is not good, when I'm currently drawing a webcomic that looks like this. But yeah, there are some people out there that do that of their day. They just love to spread negativism. Because then they get attention and they're happy for a good 20 minutes if it's a good day. The problem with that is that it's negative attention. Like, good on you for getting some serotonin, but you're doing it the wrong way, buddy. You would feel way better, way longer, if you spread more positivity. You don't spread a lot of positivity, Shiro. Well, I'm not a professional, professional for the big two artists. I am a professional artist, but I don't work for the big two. I'm just not there yet. So I gotta practice more. And I know that some of it is luck. And I don't not always have the best luck. Like, I am literally a luck fairy, but the luck doesn't care if it's good luck or bad luck. I just have a lot of luck. But at the same time, I don't want to diminish the work and effort these people put to make it into the big two. I don't care who you are, they work hard to get there. And sure, luck does have something to do with it. But it's not like they were sitting in their living room, eating chips, watching Netflix. Or, well, Netflix on disc. They've been at it for a while, I mean. And suddenly Stan Lee or whoever was the editor at DC phoned them out of the blue. They didn't even apply. Like, it's not that kind of luck, you know? Like I'm saying, there is some luck involved. But there is a lot of hard work involved, too. More to say like they go hand in hand, instead of trying to imply that you can have one or the other, but you can't have both. You can absolutely have both. What about talent? Talent is just the expression of you being stubborn enough to practice something. Lord knows I was stubborn. Stop drawing, Shiro. Stop drawing, Shiro. Do your homework, Shiro. My homework, that's a whole other story. Like, I stopped regularly doing my homework after I was accused of not doing my homework while I was holding my homework! Because what was the point? Whether I did my work or not, I was going to get punished and or yelled at. You want me to do my work? Make my work interesting. Otherwise, I'm going to draw in class and that's it. And that's another thing. Drawing in class actually helped me focus. Because I had an idea for a drawing and I had to get it out as soon as possible. So that was my goal. Get the doodle out, do a little bit of work, and then I would have another idea for another doodle. Get that doodle out, because doing the doodle would also like cool down my brain. Because I was shifting my focus back and forth, and that actually helps. But of course, you try to explain that in an era where ADHD doesn't exist. It's called, it's only called hyperactivity. And it only happens in boys, apparently, at the time. So I was diagnosed with being a genius. But my parents and my teachers were told not to tell me I was a genius, because then I would think I was superior to my classmates. So instead, my parents just kept silent, but my teachers decided that don't tell them that they're a genius means always drag them down, tell them they're stupid, encourage the other kids to tell them they're stupid so they're convinced they're stupid. So yeah, that was fun. Now that I am an adult and I know that I am smart, do I consider myself superior to other people? No, we just have different sets of skills. But apparently I'm the idiot for thinking that. I just can't win. And it's because of bullshit like that But I am demanding on having clear communication during commissions. That, and there's a lot of scamming going on in the art world on the internet. And I do not have the patience for that. Just recently on Twitter, I had one I had a webcam girl ask me in English. The other one was in Japanese, and I didn't bother translating it before blocking her. You look friendly. Would you like to be friends? And I replied with, sadly, you're a very bad judge of character. I am perfectly capable of being friendly to people, not to bots. Being friendly is in my skill set. Do not test the skill set. I mean, you're asking for a lot of things there, Shiro, and yeah, they're called boundaries. Get used to them. I will not shrink myself to be more digestible. You can choke. I've shrunk myself enough in my life, and that only got me more bullied, so... You know, Shiro, behavior like that will not get you a man. Well, I don't want a man that wants less. You should always be striving for more. Yeah, but you're too much. Seek less. I will not shrink myself for you. I am small enough as it is. I'm trying to reteach Mom that, because in her older age, she's become more meek and quiet. Like, getting fired from her job, like, really hit her hard. Like, that confidence she used to have, it's gone. And what's not helping is her recently diagnosed ADHD. And the fact that her current medication for it is doing absolutely nothing. But she did see her doctor this week to see if she could get it switched for something stronger. In fact, I have a friend I need to ask questions to about the other medicine. Because I know she's taking the other medicine. Let's hope I don't forget, because once again, guess who has unmedicated ADG? We'll have fun, fun, fun till the daddy takes the vivance away. Oh yeah, baby, I'm doing this shit sober. It's not a thing of me being afraid that if I'm officially diagnosed, that if they put me on pills, I am going to lose myself. No, 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 no. No, no, that's not how they work. I am not going to lose myself. I am going to find myself, because I am already lost. That's the whole point of ADHD! And right now I got tens and thousands of roadmaps to help me navigate myself. Once it's going to be like really out of control, then I will consider it. Because I do realize that, like, my parents have a ton of prescriptions, and I'm trying to push that back. As long as I'm not suffering, I'm pushing it back. But I'll be honest though, since I got my pressure pills, I haven't had a single headache. Like, I will wake up sometimes with a mild headache. Glass of water fixes that real quick. Like, literally, the headache melts away as I drink. But, like, I'm still functioning. So, I don't feel like I need medicine right now to help me regulate the ADHD. I am doing well on my own, because I realize I have ADHD. But the minute I notice that I'm struggling too much, that's when I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna ask for an official diagnosis and get on the appropriate medicine. Because this medicine, like, we don't go automatically on Ritalin every single time. There's various types of medicine that people can try until they find one that suits them best, you know? And Mom's current one is not suiting her best. So we're going to change that. Like, personally, right now, I feel great. Yes, sometimes, like I said earlier, I may wake up with a mild headache. Glass of water fixes that. I'm just dehydrated. Same goes for my back pain. Back pain has been going down. I don't need to use my, am I gonna say it? My torture mat every day. But I use it when I need it. And it's working faster in 20 minutes than any of the Advils or the painkillers that I used to take for that. Like, I'm not down for hours. I'm literally down for 20 minutes on my recliner, on my bed of nails, playing whatever on the Switch. I'm fine. I'm hoping I'm being very educational today. Take care of yourselves and learn stuff about Canadian art supplies like Laurentien pencils that are now discontinued since 2012. You know, I could go and look for other art supplies. I don't have any Laurentiens left. If I do, I know where to look. But I don't have a full vinyl pouch or anything. But if you guys are interested, see if I can find some more history of Canadian art supplies, you guys tell me. It sounds interesting. It sounds interesting to me. ADHD! Because like in videos, you always hear about Japanese art supplies, German art supplies, European art supplies. But you don't hear a lot about Canadian art supplies, and now I'm curious. See if there's more. Like an official Canadian brand. Or plural Canadian brands, that would be nice too. Only one way to find out, though. See, I can do homework if the homework is interesting. I'm just gonna put his eyes like that. Because of course I couldn't remember his real name, that's why I'm calling him Tiff. And Roxanne was like, wait, he was bald, but did he have like these really beautiful clear blue eyes? And I said yes, and she gave me a full name. Which I'm not gonna put in here. I'm in trouble enough as it is. You know, that's another thing. I should bootleg Cookie that time I got arrested driving because I was going, I don't remember how high I was going, but I was going faster than I should have in a 60 construction zone. And the thing is, you know, I keep saying I don't mind admitting when it's my fault, and I was hella admitting it was my fault. Like, the second he pulled up and he told me that I was going faster than I should have in a 60 zone, in a construction zone, I was ready to pay the fine. Okay. Because the first words out of my mouth when he told me that was like, oh my god, but that's dangerous for them? And I was like, it's totally my fault. The road was smooth, I did not notice. Absolutely my fault. And the cop was like, so without closing his mouth once, and gotta go fast. So without closing his mouth once, because he was still flabbergasted, like, he asked me for my registration, and you know the usual paperwork that they ask you. And he went to look it up, and he saw that I had never been arrested before. Or pulled over, at least. Like, while he was doing that, probably looking on his Rolodex, because rural, I called my boss and I told him, look, I'm going to be late for work. I just got pulled over. It's my fault. Sorry about that. And of course it was Dom, so yeah, I'm gonna name drop Dom. Dom was a fantastic manager. And he was like, okay, it's cool. And I said, I'm gonna show up as soon as I can. And then the cop came back to me and he was like, you can go. Like, you never got in trouble before. You realize you made a mistake. You can go. And I was like, thank you very much. Because when I panic, I become efficient. Then I rolled up my window, took a deep breath, got back on the road, following the speed limit. And I was like, oh my god! So of course I had to go and tell Dom about it like right away as soon as I got to work. I can't believe I got away with it. I'm still gonna be careful while I drive, but holy shit, I can't believe I got away with it. And like I keep saying, not in a way that I was trying to get out of the ticket. No, I was ready to pay the ticket. I was shocked. You clearly regret what you did. You realize you did something wrong. You can go. And so needless to say, I am very, very, very careful. Even when it's been months that construction's been going on, that the road has been rumbly, and after the road is finally fixed and it's smooth, I make sure I take a look at my speedometer. And with that, we're almost done. Hope you guys learned something today. Like, being honest might get you out of a ticket, but don't drive recklessly just on purpose to test that theory. And that's another thing. Notice here I say, Hick, be my guest. Because I didn't want to say you're not going to find anybody in case they find somebody I was not aware of. Like, you know what? You suspect there's somebody wounded? Better you find them than me. almost done. Yeah, look at that. Now I have a pink floor. Isn't that pretty? I'm just going to put a happy little tree, and at least your popo don't seem to be power tripping jerks. In the US, there'd be a good chance that they'd come in guns blazing asking questions later. Yeah. Like, my door is a patio door. If this was the US, it would have been shattered by now. Alright, let's take a looky-loo. Alright, and with that, I believe we are done for today. It's about time, because honestly my throat is a little scratchy now. Perfect timing! So of course, regulars know what that means. It's time to give thanks to our supporters. Extra special caramel drizzle, gold flecked, chocolate sprinkles, rainbow syrup. Thanks to our supporters on Patreon and Ko-fi: Amber B, Paul K, Misinovis, Suri Uttered, Carl Bloke, Takashi Kanako, Bad at Multiplayers, and Supreme Crimson Leader. Your continued support is immensely appreciated. Next live stream, of course, going to be Sunday, September 1st. That's going to be my birthday month. La la la. And of course, after that, there's going to be the Colors of the Month challenge on September 7th, because that's going to be the first Saturday of the month of September. So there you have it. Live stream next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's my time, not your time. Maybe your time. I don't know you. I don't know your life. Hope you guys had fun watching me draw this. I had a lot of fun drawing it. I'll see you guys next Sunday. I love you all, and bye-bye.